The movie opens with a reference to the California Grand Lottery, an initiative launched during the Great Depression of 2026 when the state faced a dire financial crisis. The government introduced the Grand Lottery as a desperate measure to generate revenue. Each lottery day, one random resident is chosen as the winner. However, there's a deadly twist. The winner must survive until sundown, while every other resident holding a losing ticket is granted the right to hunt them down and claim the multi-million-dollar prize. To intensify the challenge, firearms are strictly prohibited, turning the event into a brutal test of survival and luck. The story then shifts to Los Angeles in 2030, where we see one lottery winner frantically fleeing from an enraged mob. Despite being caught up by some of his pursuers, he manages to fend them off and continues his desperate escape, eventually seeking refuge in the home of Tala El-Mazan. Tala deceives him into believing he is safe, but ultimately betrays him, kills him, and claims his lottery ticket. Shortly after, officials from the Grand Lottery arrive at Tala's house to confirm the previous winner's death. Johnny Grand then presents Tala with the new lottery ticket as her reward. Meanwhile, Katie Kim, a former child star from Spaghetti Squares, is en route to Hollywood on a bus to reignite her fading career. During the ride, she witnesses a father berating his daughter over the phone for her poor acting skills. Katie intervenes, urging him to show more kindness and humanity, even threatening to arrest him if he continues. Afterwards, she engages in a conversation with the passenger next to her, revealing her hopes of reviving her career in the ruthless Hollywood world. However, upon getting off the bus, Katie realizes that the passenger has stolen her watch. As the bus moves into the city, Katie observes crimes being committed in broad daylight, with the police doing nothing to intervene. She asks the driver about it and learns that the next lottery day is approaching. Upon arriving in Los Angeles, Katie rents a modest room from Shuddy, a financially struggling woman eager to make quick cash. Shuddy's boyfriend DJ later introduces himself to Katie. Meanwhile, Noel Cassidy, a seasoned freelance lottery protection agent, records a promotional video for his services, leaving his contact information for potential clients. Katie's sleep is disrupted when sewage from the upstairs neighbor leaks into her room, ruining her clothes. She calls Shuddy to complain, only to be offered the option of renting some of Shuddy's clothes at a fee. Frustrated, Katie orders a cab to go to her audition, but becomes annoyed by the overly chatty driver. At the audition, Katie is asked to pay double for an in-person session. Unwittingly, she purchases a lottery ticket and registers for the Grand Lottery, unaware of its deadly implications. The audition itself is disappointing, leaving Katie discouraged. After the audition, Katie's ticket is announced as the winning one in the Grand Lottery, though she remains unaware of this fact. Suddenly, she becomes the central figure in a deadly game where survival is her only goal. The once tranquil audition room transforms into a chaotic hunting ground, with Katie as the primary target. Everyone she encounters now sees her as their chance to claim the $3.6 billion jackpot, turning each interaction into a life-or-death struggle. In a desperate bid to survive, Katie is saved by Noel Cassidy, the seasoned freelance lottery protection agent. Noel presents her with a straightforward proposition. In exchange for 10% of her winnings, he'll ensure she survives until sundown. Though initially hesitant about the terms, Katie quickly realizes she has no other choice and reluctantly agrees to sign the deal. Noel, an expert in non-lethal combat, skillfully wards off the waves of attackers while keeping Katie close by his side. As they escape, Noel shares crucial insights into the lottery's brutal mechanics, arming Katie with the knowledge she needs to stay alive. He reveals the most daunting aspect of the game, that every 14 minutes, a drone will broadcast her live location to the entire city, making evasion nearly impossible. When Katie considers quitting and rejecting the prize, Noel informs her that the only way to escape this nightmare is to reach the blue neon cross at Grapevine, located on the outskirts of Los Angeles. He agrees to get her there, where she can officially quit the lottery and claim her prize. Despite Noel's best efforts to protect her, Katie's trust in him remains fragile. As paranoia takes hold, she begins to doubt whether anyone, even Noel, is truly on her side. Driven by fear, she takes matters into her own hands, fights off Noel, and abandons him in a desperate attempt to find safety. She seeks refuge with the police, only to discover that they too are no different from the rest and are only after her blood. Realizing this, Katie flees on foot, seeking shelter wherever she can find it. During her frantic escape, Katie encounters a sympathetic security guard who offers her refuge inside the Fameland Wax Museum. For a fleeting moment, it seems she has found a safe haven. However, this temporary peace is shattered when Shadi, who has been tracking Katie's movements, calls her, revealing her location. Motivated by greed, Shadi and DJ close in on Katie, attacking her with various weapons and forcing her to lock them inside the museum as she narrowly escapes. As she makes her way onto the street, her assailants spot her, and a chase ensues. Noel reappears, proving his loyalty by rescuing her from a busload of bloodthirsty tourists. Together they make a daring escape and seek refuge at the mansion of MGK, a wealthy and influential figure in Los Angeles. Inside his high-tech panic room, they find temporary safety from their relentless pursuers. Noel's reassurance that he is committed to seeing Katie through this ordeal offers her a small measure of comfort. However, their safety is short-lived. Shadi manages to coerce MGK into revealing the panic room's access code, breaching their sanctuary. With no other options left, Noel calls in a favor from the Lewis Protection Agency, LPA, a powerful organization that specializes in protecting lottery winners. The LPA intervenes just in time, disabling the attackers' phones and whisking Katie and Noel away to their state-of-the-art facility. At the LPA headquarters in Beverly Hills, Katie meets Louis Lewis, the enigmatic and formidable head of the agency. Louis offers Katie a protection deal. In exchange for the LPA and Noel each receiving 30% of her winnings, they will guarantee her safe passage to the Grapevine. During a routine medical checkup, Katie learns more about Noel's past. He reveals that he and Lewis are the last survivors of an elite team of mercenaries, and that Noel uses his earnings to support the families of their fallen comrades. The LPA provides Katie with an intricate prosthetic disguise, altering her appearance as she prepares for the final leg of her perilous journey. However, Noel grows increasingly wary of Louis and the LPA team, sensing something amiss. His suspicions are confirmed when he uncovers a horrifying truth. The LPA has been systematically murdering the very lottery winners they were supposed to protect, concealing their identities to claim their fortunes for themselves. Determined to keep Katie from becoming their next victim, Noel orchestrates a diversion, allowing a crowd of her fans to infiltrate the facility. Amid the ensuing chaos, Katie seizes the opportunity to escape in one of the LPA's convoy decoy vehicles. As Katie approaches the Grapevine, her thoughts are singularly focused on her survival, but her plans are abruptly derailed when Louis contacts her, threatening to kill Noel unless she surrenders. Against her better judgment, Katie reluctantly agrees to turn the car around and meet Louis at an abandoned Hollywood theater. Inside the crumbling theater, Louis reveals his true colors. He admits to killing the other mercenaries to hoard a hidden stash of gold for himself, solidifying his role as the ultimate antagonist. But Katie proves to be a worthy adversary. She cleverly outsmarts Louis, threatening to take her own life and forfeit the jackpot unless he releases Noel. This bold move buys her precious time as her actions are live-streamed, drawing her remaining fans to the theater. In the chaos that follows, Katie and Noel engage in a fierce battle against Louis, his henchmen, and her relentless pursuers, all while Katie navigates the perilous heights of the theater's scaffolding. The confrontation reaches its peak when Katie, in a final act of defiance, uses Louis' own grenades against him. The resulting explosion kills Louis, but not before sending Katie tumbling from the scaffolding. Just as it seems all hope is lost, a crowd of her genuine fans, who have been following and supporting her journey, catches her just in time. As the sun sets and the lottery deadline passes, Katie emerges victorious. She and Noel reunite and Johnny Grand arrives at the theater and awards Katie her lottery ticket. However, the allure of wealth hasn't left them entirely unscathed. The duo now owns a super yacht, a clear symbol of their transformed financial circumstances. Meanwhile, MGK, still traumatized by his experience, orders an upgraded panic room and more tranquilizer darts, taking extra precautions against future threats. The movie concludes with Johnny Grand announcing the expansion of the Grand Lottery across the country, hinting at the possibility of a sequel where the deadly game continues on an even grander scale.